Hello and welcome to today's edition of Crafting with Mermaid Tears. Today we are going to do something a little bit different. I was in Walmart when I came across a Mermazing soap making kit. So I thought, why not give that a try and see what I think of the product. It does come with everything that you need in order to complete the project, so hopefully with the instructions it's easy to do. The kit came with the main square mold as well as a shaped mold and two things for your soap, a clear one and a white one. It also came with 3 colors, but I've somehow managed to lose a color while preparing, and a scent that you can use for your soap and glitter. I'm not going to use the glitter because I don't know about you, but when I'm cleaning myself, I don't want to clean myself and end up with glitter all over the place. So I've set up my station, and by doing that I just put some paper towel underneath my cutting board, and I've grabbed all of the cups that it says you need. They say bowls, I'm going to use cups. And then it tells you to go ahead and start cutting your soap. So you can see here it's got groove lines already pointed out for you. So you're just going to follow those groove lines and cut both pieces of your soap right up. Once we have our soap cut up, it tells us to put the chunks in different cups or bowls and to space them out. They have some where they've mixed the clear with the white, so I'm going to try that in this one here. But I also like the idea of doing just white and just clear to see what that is going to look like when I'm done. So I'm going to start with just those 2 pieces in each of my glasses and see where it goes from there. Now that they are in there, it tells me to microwave it for 15 seconds and not any longer, and then I'm to take it out and I am to stir it. I'm not sure if you can tell, but there is a little bit of liquid just on the sides here, so it has in fact started to melt it. I can even push my thing right into it, and it tells me to keep going on 15-second intervals until it is smooth. Now that the soap is a nice thick consistency, it's time to add the colors. I'm going to start by adding purple. I'm just going to do 2 drops to see what color that changes it, so I know what the brightness of it is. I've added them, and now I stir. So I've got a nice kind of lavendery color of purple now, and it tells me for my first one to take it and pour it into some of the shape molds. Hopefully it doesn't matter that I've gone over the top a little bit. I've never been very good at keeping things in where they need to be. So I'm going to just wipe those up here really quickly. Don't imagine it's going to be a big issue. I can probably trim it once it's done. Now that I have my purple started, it's time to move on to microwaving the next set of colors. With my second one done, I'm now going to do the same thing. This time I'm going to use the turquoise. I did in fact manage to find my other color. It was hiding underneath the cutting board and the paper towel. So I'm going to mix this one up nicely. And then again, I'm just going to pour it into the molds. And I took what I had left from my colors and poured it into the square mold. I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not, but before I do my next set of cubes, they did ask that you put 1 clear cube aside, and this is going to be used once your soap is totally set as glue, so make sure you did put at least 1 clear cube aside. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try my all whites. I'm going to keep my all white layer white, and I'm just going to add a couple of drops of the strawberry fragrance to this one. And then I'm going to just dump this in here because, like I said, I would like to keep it all white. Now I'm going to just take my stir stick and I'm just going to do a little bit of a swirl. The teal has already started to set somewhat, but I'm not sure if you can notice. I am able to pick up just hints of that teal color into the white just to give it a little bit of a swirly-whirly effect. And now I'm going to try and do my all clear ones to see how that turns out. For the all clear one, I'm going to try the blue color. And then again, just dump it over top of this to form the layer. My clear was obviously still really hot, or my white hadn't set enough, because it's kind of sunk through the white a little bit, but that's okay, it's going to look really neat. If you just used 4 bowls, then you are done with your colors right now. I only used 2 cubes each time, so I still have 1 bowl left with 2 cubes, and then 1 left with my all white cube, and of course the one that I set aside with my clear cube. For my last layer, I'm just going to add a little bit more of this strawberry scent and another layer of the blue. And then I'm just going to pour this on top of my layers, and once I've got that done, I'm going to put that and the molds into the fridge, where I am going to let them harden. I don't want them to fully harden, I just want them to be enough that I'm going to be able to cut through it and work with it a little bit later. So this is where I will leave you until our soap has melted, or pardon me, until our soap has hardened. With the soap now hardened, I left it in for probably about 45 minutes. It's time to take it out of all of the templates, so just give them a push until they pop out. So I've got all of my shapes out, and now I am going to just take the big piece out. So I'm not sure if you were able to get yours out of the plastic container, but I most certainly wasn't, so unfortunately mine is not salvageable. Thankfully though, these ones, littler ones, still are. Now with this done, there is the lines on it, so I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to cut the pieces. With all of the pieces cut, I can decide which part I want to use as the top or the bottom. I'm going to use the smoother part as the bottom. Once I have everything cut, I am going to melt the final little piece of soap, and this is what we're going to use as the glue to add these to all of our pieces. When you are doing the last piece of soap, remember it is 15 seconds intervals. So once you've taken it out, the 15 seconds is done. I'm guessing you somehow just scoop it and put a little bit, maybe this is why they tell you to use a bowl. Might be easier to do, then you can dip them in the bowl, but I used a cup. And I am going to put it on in place and just hold it there, and hopefully it will dry and harden. And then you're just going to keep doing that with all of your pieces until you have them how you like them. So with all of my pieces now finished, I can put them in the bags that they provided in the kit and tie the bag, and they are ready to go as a gift. Thank you for joining me on another edition of Mermaid Tears. I hope that you had fun using the soap kit or attempting to make your own soap, depending on what you were able to do. And I will hopefully see you again next week for another edition of Crafting with Mermaid Tears. Have yourself an absolutely fabulous day.